What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to talk about what I've been doing the last, I don't know, 40 hours maybe? 30 hours? I really can't remember. What I've been playing is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Now, I thought about getting the Eevee edition because I figured everybody would get Pikachu. And if you remember anything about Pokemon games, and by Pokemon games, I don't necessarily mean Pokemon Go, but the original Pokemon games. I'm looking for one. I do not have one here. I've got a copy of... You can see how prepared I was for this video. A copy of Pokemon somewhere. I still have my copy of Pokemon Blue from the Game Boy somewhere. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Faded out copy, but it's still there. Just wanted to show you guys that. And the main reason I'm showing you all that is, and I may have talked about in another video, my whole Pokemon coming up story and all that. If I haven't, let me know. I may tell it again, but long story short, I used to be into Pokemon years ago. Didn't really know what it was. It just looked cool. It was anime. Anything that was anime coming to the United States looked cool because it was different. And like many kids, you saw the show first, and then the game came out. Didn't really understand what it was, but collecting things was, one of the crazes of the mid-90s. Collecting cards, comics, coins, stamps, rocks, all that stuff we did as kids. Now everything's moving more digital, so, it's more about the picture of the thing, not necessarily the thing. It's not necessarily having the autograph, it's the selfie with the famous person. Anyway, getting back on the topic, I'm playing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu because, I don't know, the Eevee one, the selection of Pokemon stood out less than the Pikachu ones. What I mean by that is you had two versions of the game originally for the Game Boy games. Red and blue if you lived in the US. I think they had green and red or something like that in Japan and other regions. But anyway, it was designed that way so that you could trade with the friend. You had this little link cable. You could trade with friends back and forth. Anyway, the ones that were in the Pikachu, the Pokemon, stood out more, so I got this version. And I'm used to seeing Pikachu, everywhere. Pika, Pika, I'm just used to that. Eevee, not so much. I see my Eevee over there just looking somewhat lonely. Still got a smirk on its face that's happy, but I'm sorry, Eevee, I decided to get the Pikachu version. So, what do I like? This game is really good. You can play it. I'm still playing it right now. I took a break because I really wanted to make this video. I'm somewhat near the Seafoam Islands. I have never finished any of the Pokemon games. I have a bunch of them. Never finished them, just don't have the attention span I had as a kid. In the Game Boy games, batteries were an issue. There were no strategy guides. No colors in the original, so a lot of things look the same. A lot of endless battles. If you're not familiar with JRPGs, you may not like that. But the good news is, if you're a casual gamer or newcomer, or you're familiar with Pokemon Go more than the regular Pokemon story games, this one adds some of the elements of Go into it, especially the capturing. So the endless battles, it's somewhat balanced. Instead of having to encounter a Pokemon and always, fight it and, having them all over the screen, or not all over the screen, but having them just appear randomly, that doesn't happen. They're all over the screen now and you can avoid them. So that makes it easier if you're just trying to jettison straight to what a lot of us were looking for, and that was Go Park, where you could transfer Pokemon from your phone, from your Go account, to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee. Now, why was that beneficial? It was beneficial because a lot of times you transfer these Pokemon to the professor, and you get one candy back. If there's an event, you might get a couple more, but they're gone forever. At least if they're gone forever, they're in your copy of your game here that you can utilize. And that just seemed cool to me. One of the frustrating things of Pokemon Go right now, I mean, there's a list, but they've worked on most of them the last 2 years, so maybe 2 years from now they'll have all of them out the way. But jokes aside or whatever, one of the biggest gripes was the storage space. You can only hold 1,500 Pokemon, and if you've been putting a lot of time and money into this game, into Pokemon Go that is, you're wanting to collect as many. There shouldn't be a cap space on it, you know, but you end up finding yourself after a while deleting Pokemon that you spent money for. Forget the Pokemon that ran away from you and you spent money on raid passes, but you know, that stuff it's inexpensive, but it adds up over time because they rope you in, you get hooked, and this game $60 retail, I've probably paid 4 or 5 times that. I won't say 4 or 5 times. Maybe 4 times is accurate, but that's neither here nor there. Should you get this game? Yes, this is a good game. I highly recommend it. I haven't had so much fun. I haven't seen so many people online that I'm friends with on a Nintendo Switch. Not that I'm friends with many, and that's because a lot of you don't have a Nintendo Switch yet, or haven't had a reason to. But between Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, this is the system seller. This right here, Mario Odyssey wasn't quite it. It was for people who love Mario, but I think this is driving people in droves because there's 2 different versions of the game. It's Pokemon. It's on a console for once, but it's still portable at the same time. It ties into Pokemon Go, which already had its own user base, so a lot of cross-pollination there, and that's what I love about it. It's like an HD remake, you know, and remake isn't maybe even fair. It mostly is, but there's mega evolution. I mean, this isn't a spoiler video, not that you could really spoil something that's, you know, 20, almost 30 years old, but if you haven't played it before, I highly recommend renting it at least for the weekend. You could probably finish it in that amount of time. But long term, I mean, DLC being a thing, I can't see Nintendo not doing more. And what I mean by that is a missed opportunity to use these amiibos. I mean, how cool would it be to have Mewtwo here level up, you know, or get rare candies each day you use an amiibo. I'm sure if I'm thinking of this, like every time I say that line, if I think of it, somebody else has already thought of it, and it should be happening. Nintendo, get on that. Let me use this for something more than Smash Bros. Let me use my Pikachu amiibo for something more than Smash Bros. But I'm at the Seafoam Islands. If you know where that is, and you know what's there, make sure you have a Master Ball, because you'll be like me for the last hour trying to catch something that you really can't catch. Again, I haven't finished the yellow version or the blue version for that matter, or any of the versions, but I will finish this. I'm so close. 4 of the 6 badges, or 5 of the I can't remember, but I'm almost done. I'm ready for, you know, the end of this game. So I've rambled long enough. Last thing I want to mention is you had the option to get the Pokeball Go Plus, and that's like the Pokemon Go Plus, which essentially allows you to click on your a Pokeball looking like watch interface. I mean, you can Google it. It allows you to catch Pokemon and spin Pokestops. Nice little device. Unfortunately, it uses watch batteries that you got to replace regularly, maybe every 2 months. So that's an additional cost if you choose to play the game that way. Now, you're not forced to do any of these things, but see how this kind of adds up? You could alternatively get the Gacha, which is not licensed by Nintendo like the Pokemon Go Plus is. But what I love about the Gacha, it's incognito somewhat. Only people who know what it is know. So you don't have to go to work with a huge Pokemon ball, a Pokeball, on your wrist or whatever, or worry about losing it. This looks like a Fitbit. I don't really care for the colors so much, but a small price to pay. This has a rechargeable feature. So you just plug that in, I don't know if you can see that, into the charger it comes with, and no need for batteries. It auto spins and auto catches. You can tell it to auto spin, or not to catch certain Pokemon. I mean, there's different features on it, so I love this. This is mainly why I changed my mind on getting the Pokemon Go Plus to show you guys, or the Pokeball Go Plus, excuse me, and why I got rid of the Pokemon Go Plus. It's because I felt like that being another controller, essentially what it does is it replaces this. So if you're playing this on docked mode, you have to simulate throwing a Pokeball. Handheld mode, you would just move your system like this to catch Pokemon, but undocked, you go like this with the left or right Joy-Con, 1 or 2 players, obviously. But that would be like a controller you'd move around with and catch things, but it also is a paywall. You can only get Mew by buying that Pokeball, at least for now. I believe that'll change, kind of like, you had to buy both copies of Smash Bros. For Wii U and for the 3DS to unlock Mewtwo. However, later on you could just outright pay for it without buying both copies. Or you could be sneaky like me and go to the video game store or the rental stores and see if somebody left the code in there. And anywho, what I'm saying is, had that Pokeball Go Plus come out before something like this, around the same time, I might have taken advantage of that. But it doesn't do anything different other than substitute as Joy-Con. So for $50, that's what you would pay if you got the bundle. It's $60 by itself, I believe. I can't really remember. Or no, it's $50. But you save $10 on the bundle because the game by itself is $60, and then the Pokeball Go Plus is $50. That'd be $110, but they sold it for $100 if you chose the bundle. But for $50, I feel like I could get some used Joy-Cons, a set of 2 that I could take more advantage of for, games like Mario Party or Mario Kart, where I need more controllers rather than just use that one Joy-Con. And, you could auto spin Pokestops, but you don't necessarily catch Pokemon. I don't know. That's all I really know about it for now. Maybe you could use it for another iteration of these games if it comes out, but I think by then you could find those in the wild used, and I'll just get that. I'll just get one used. It's not that serious. Me trying to be a minimalist and all. That's why I decided not to get that. So that being said, I'm going to end this video. Stay tuned for some more. I've got a lot to talk about in a series of videos. One last thing. I did get this from GameStop. I wanted to show this off. It's upside down. This is a nice little poster it came with. And I haven't hung it up anywhere because on the back it has a map. I haven't figured out how to use the map system in the game. And that's probably for the best. I say that because I'm having a lot more fun getting lost and exploring than I would just saying, oh, here's Fuchsia City or Fuchsia, whatever. Let's just get this over with and stop playing. So, see you in the next video. Other Yellow Hat Guy out.